This is probably like a really boomer thought, but when I was a kid, I would have been one of those that showed up for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But now that I'm older and I see when you have a big assembly like that, regardless of what it's for, you're preventing emergency services from accessing her. Yeah. And you're like, you can't have that. Like the reason why the roads are shaped the way they are is so emergency services can get to people that need it. It's a very boomer thought.
It is boomer because you're not thinking about, you haven't played God of War. Have you guys heard what about YouTube and Twitch personality Cenat?
That was a bad thing. Bad thing that happened. New York is not happy.
He said he was talking shit about New York?
No. So he decides to do a giveaway video, which tubers love to do. It's a tuber thing to do.
Gets engagement, right?
Yeah. And he's going to give away shitloads of PlayStation 5s. And he's like, hey everybody, just want to put out this little, little social media blast. I'm giving away shitloads of PlayStation 5s, right?
Like 6 of them?
Like
a shitload.
Whatever a shitload is. How much do you think that is?
Probably 10 plus.
It's like 10 liters.
Yeah.
Maybe 100, 1,000?
A couple kilograms.
A shitload of PlayStations?
It's like 25 gallons of PlayStation 5s, right? So
like 30 consoles? That's a lot.
I think so.
We'll start with that.
So he's 5.5 million followers on Instagram. And then he says, I'm going to give away like oodles and oodles and oodles of PlayStation 5s at 4 p.m. So then crowds start forming an hour before.
They were like, we're going to go here, like
Union Square.
Okay.
Yeah, Union Square. And it starts a riot, basically. People start to lose their minds.
I've seen videos of people jumping on people's cars, smashing.
I saw this cab driver. I felt so bad for him. He's like, I need to work. And then all these kids were smashing their fucking windows.
And shit, yeah.
What the fuck? How did that turn into that?
Dude, I'm telling you.
He boned out too.
He what?
He left.
Did he give any?
They were climbing on like Cenat. He had to drive out, and they were on his car when he drove out.
It doesn't say if he actually got to give any away, but I'll tell you this: I've seen a lot of pictures of this incident. Haven't seen many people holding PlayStation 5s.
I just saw like a bunch of kids on
In fact,
cars, smashing windows, all that shit, and then like a lot of people like talking about political shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going? And then it's like, oh, it's just a giveaway that went bad.
I saw a chick twerking on a lamppost. I don't know why, but I saw it.
It's because there was a train station right there that was not completed, so there was all this construction material, and everybody grabbed it. Yeah, they grabbed like shovels and paint cans. That's why there's paint and shit everywhere.
That's the saddest part. Like during during the riots, where like all these cities were burning up, doing all this crazy shit, and then so certain politicians have certain stances. Some of them are like, no, like anarchy is never good, chaos is never good. Some of them are like, oh, like we understand why people are really emotionally hurt. This is the only way they can be heard. I always felt like if you establish precedents, then you kind of make future other things and other implications okay. Yeah. And then New York was one of the places where it's like, oh, people have bad feelings, so they're just letting it out because they're unheard people. But now you have like almost anything can turn into a riot. A riot.
This for a giveaway.
Justified riots.
Yeah.
But as soon as mass people get together, like let's say you throw an EDC in a place where they don't fuck around, you know they're gonna just shoot tear gas at your ass. The EDC is not gonna turn into a riot. Yeah. But then if you go to a place where they not support it, but they're like they
won't punish it.
They won't punish it. Anything, a fucking Santa's petting zoo can turn into a riot. Like you get enough people together and you get enough, like mosh pits and shit. Like you get enough of this going
I just saw goats with fucking.
It's mob mentality.
It just morphs into something. It could be anything.
Dude, I just saw Rudolph and goats with fucking Santa hats just fucking tearing shit up, bro.
It's funny because like you look at this shit and you're like grumbling about it, but like, dude, when I was 17, I would have been hype as fuck. Yeah. I would have been doing bonehead shit too, honestly.
I remember socking random people in mosh pits just because other people are getting socked. Now I want to sock someone.
Yeah.
I saw so many Eggers recording shit, and I was like, damn, what's up with this mushroom haircut that everybody likes doing these days?
Is that like the Egger haircut?
It's the Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So it's like a bowl cut.
Yeah, big time mushroom up here.
Do they go mullet? I see that.
Some people mullet it.
I see they go.
It's either the mullet or the mushroom.
They go mullet,
and it's all curly. They have to perm it.
I kind of think.
And they got a little dangly earring.
Thinking about it.
They got pearls too, a pearl necklace.
The crazy thing that I saw about this is that they said that New York has a department specifically to suss social media accounts to counteract these things from happening. So somebody's like basically a snitch that's going, yo, they're saying they're gonna meet up at Times Square. So
like a meet and greet snitch.
They try to like preemptively stop these things, but they didn't catch this because they don't watch Twitch.
But imagine, like, you're just a social.
Also, he's not a YouTuber.
No.
He's a Twitch streamer.
He's a Twitch streamer, tuber. He's both.
But he's like the top.
But yeah, these days, everyone's everything now.
Oh.
It was announced everywhere. It was announced social media blast, right?
Oh, well, so then that person doesn't really.
And then he's like, I'm giving away fucking tablespoons of PlayStation.
Does he do? So he games, yeah. He games, and the people.
Yeah. Big time gamer.
So were people like, "Where's the PlayStation? You promised us," and then they started jumping
But
up on cars.
even at that point, just that many teens together in one spot, it just gets wild. No matter what happens, even if like, because first of all, you can't give everybody a PlayStation, but it's not even about that at that point. It's just people just get crazy.
I mean, I don't know what to say because I want to be like, look at these stupid ass unruly teens, but I was one of those.
That's what I'm saying. Like we
faces.
can't talk, right?
I'd show up for a free PlayStation 5. Are you kidding me? I'm not better than that.
But I do feel like they should get punished
Well,
because that's how they learn their lessons.
He's been arrested.
He's been arrested. Yeah.
Well, he
arrested.
didn't do anything wrong. I would say the crowd did shit wrong.
But it is wrong because it's illegal to you can't administer an assembly in a public place like that. You gotta get permits and shit. You can't just tell everybody.
What about flash mobs and shit? Those guys getting arrested?
They should.
They should be.
Flash
If they're
mobs.
if they're getting going by the law, if you're going by the law, they should.
They should be made an example of.
on site.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty common for influencers to do like meet and greets at the park or whatever, but I think he doesn't understand.
But even those
the
are
scale.
technically
Yeah,
illegal.
you still can't do
But the scale of it is he's not being conscious of, because if he's got that many followers, he knows like 30,000 people might pull up. Then that's fucked up.
Yeah,
But
what
if
was
you're
the
like-
game plan? Like, just gonna throw PS5s into the crowd? Like, what was the?
But it's just like having a house party. If you have a house party, too many people show up, spills out in the street, they do shit,
Yeah.
you get arrested.
You should have a 10 people maximum of quality friends.
Bible studies
Yeah,
only.
Bible study.
What game do you think they all want to play real bad?
Madden?
Assassin's Creed?
Probably VR, dude. I think
Probably
VR.
VR.
Probably VR.
Jack off games.
Yeah, just jack off games.
They obviously want to play a game real bad. Which one do you think it is?
Let's get to the brass tacks. This
I want to dig in on this.
Why are we beating around the bush?
Get to the point, right?
How would you guys punish these kids? Because I feel like they gotta learn a lesson.
I take the
But I don't
controllers
wanna
away.
fuck
I
it
take the
up
controllers
too.
away.
You can get a PS5.
You have it, but you can't play it.
No HDMI for you, sir.
Because there were some like young ass kids out there.
Yup.
They were saying that there were like young ass like preteens that showed up.
Do they do any destruction?
Yeah. I don't know.
A lot smaller scale, I'm sure.
Maybe fines or something. I don't know. Something that hurts, but it's not too permanent.
Yeah.
And then maybe like really find the person that calls the assembly. So this is probably like a really boomer thought, but when I was a kid, I would have been one of those that showed up for sure. And I probably would have showed up with a bunch of flammable shit just to make it even crazier.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Have a bag.
yeah, bag full of fucking fresh lint or whatever. But now that I'm older and I've seen things that happen, I'm like, when you have a big assembly like that, regardless of what it's for, like let's say there's a lady that has an emergency contraction.
Yeah.
You're preventing emergency services from accessing her, so you block infrastructure just because as you get older, you know more shit happens.
Yeah.
And you're like, you can't have that. Like the reason why the roads are shaped the way they are is so emergency service can get to people that need it. It's a very boomer thought.
It is boomer because you're not thinking about. You haven't played God of War,
Have you played the second one, dude? Jesus Christ.
so you don't know what the context of what these people are going through.
And the controllers, they have feedback that you can't get.
But I would know.
You'd be like, this is so sick. All right, fuck that bitch and that baby. There's too many people anyway.
I got to get up on this lamppost and twerk so I can maybe get a place.
I gotta get noticed. You know,
So I can play Horizon Zero West.
1 and 2, maybe 3.
I think the part that makes this different is that it's over. You know, like people are gonna point this out and go, yeah, well, when the Stanley Cup happened, everyone rioted. When this football team won, everybody rioted. But this is nothing. It's just one dude saying, come down, get a PS5.
And those guys get permits. So the emergency services people are already in position.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
They're ready for it.
Barricades, there's all that stuff.
But then the fact that this fool like needs to understand his power. Like you can do that anytime.
How old is this streamer?
I don't know, like maybe early 20s or some shit.
Oh, so he's young too, huh?
Maybe even younger than that. I don't even really.
Maybe we should do it in a soccer field or something.
What month was he born in?
I think if you're over 20, like if you're 25 and you're caught at one of these, you should definitely be arrested. You're too old for this shit, bro.
Where did he get his braids twisted at?
Yeah. Where did
I
the
need to
brace
know.
twist?
If you're a fanboy at 25,
He's 21.
21. So that's what I mean. So he's young. He's a silly boy. You know, he doesn't know the
Right. That's the hard thing. Is like again, like we would love to be part of the shit when we were fucking.
that's true. Like
17.
if you're a fuckhead, it's hard to condemn
Yeah.
someone that's probably done less harm than you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking like, dude, I was fucking tagging all over town, and then I got in trouble for it, and I was shitting bricks about going to juvie, and I didn't, and I just got probation, and then that whole process of continuously going to court was scary. But I didn't learn a lesson because I ended up fucking joining a gang and doing worse shit.
That's
So like, I don't know if punishment actually works.
The difference is that
If it's
like,
harder, I think.
the difference in our day, there were fewer things that could make something like that happen. There's a ton of dudes like him that could do that, but they're not.
I get what you mean.
There's a shitload of people that have influence over teens that they could be like, yo, everybody, come to fucking Foot Locker at this mall. It's like, that's crazy that any time anybody can do that.
Yeah.
So it's a choice you have to make as an
Imagine the joy though of like I am so excited to wake up this morning and I'm gonna give away 270 fluid ounces of PlayStation.
You're stupid.
And then you do it, and then you got fucking jknews coming down on your ass like the rest of the day, giving you shit.
Yeah, fucking boomer philosophies.
Talking about EMS.
It's like I'm hanging out with my parents in this video.
It sucks because there's probably a shitload of good kids in this crowd too, but they could get fucked up
I'll tell you this, dude.
all the same.
If I was if 15-year-old Nick was a follower of this guy and he was like, I'm giving out PS5s on Union Square, the whole time 15-year-old Nick would be like, this is a fucking scam. I'm not gonna go.
You're like, he's not giving away anything.
Yeah, he ain't gonna give away shit.
But guaranteed, there's probably a lot of kids there that don't care about the PS5. They just want to be where shit's happening.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and it makes sense. Like, I
That's
get.
the poppin' spot.
That's like one of the fucking rubberneckers on the freeway. Like the accident's over there, but this side
Yeah.
is like,
Oh, dude.
That side gets jammed.
Dude, it's like when the Powerball is like 1.5 billion or some shit. You see everyone at the gas station, and you know everyone knows they're not gonna win, but everyone shows up.
And they're buying the ticket and they look over their shoulder and they go, worth a shot.
Hey, what would you do, huh?
Yeah. What are you gonna do with your 1.5 billion?
I'd buy it. First thing I do, I'd buy a PlayStation 5.